X-Men, welcome to Inside Modern Wellness. So this is you know very well about our podcast. Yeah, so this is a second take in the sense that we started it last year and we kind of got busy and never recorded enough. But this time we want to try record it just every 2 weeks. And thank you for honoring our invite. How are you keeping?
Oh, all good.
Yes. How's the business?
It's getting there. We're picking up.
Yeah. Yes.
Also, it's that time of the year.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to get fit.
Yeah.
Everyone more focused on their, not just the physical aspect.
Absolutely.
So mental wellness, which is basically what we want.
Exactly. I like that you put that aspect as well of mental wellness. So why the key part about inviting you today, particularly, and hopefully you'll be coming forever going forward, is particularly we want to talk a lot about it. There's a lot of exercise aspects that we want to talk about. But just tell us more about your business, Personal Training Experts. Where are you based? What are you up to? What's your plan for the year?
So we based in Parkmore.
Yes.
107 2nd Street. And basically the business model is, so I worked with a commercial gym before. And so we started noticing that a lot of people sort of fall off the cracks, right? But we needed to work out an affordable way for people to come in and train while they're still getting enough attention. You sort of see that in commercial gyms, people are in group sessions, like 30, 40 people. So people end up falling off. So now with our business models, we bring in trainers that, basically you assign the trainer. So someone who's going to keep track of your progress, who's going to check up on you if you're not showing up for sessions. And basically that's what people need, because people are so busy. They've got work, they've got kids, there's a lot going on. And before you know it, you've fallen off the wagon and you've been working for 2 weeks or 3 weeks traveling. We also offer online sessions if you're traveling. So just to help you out to stick with it, even if it's just a 20-minute session on the road, but it's just to keep you active.
I like that. So then that means with your model, you're really able to keep that close loop on your client and you really make sure that whatever they need to achieve, they actually achieve it because they're not in this big crowd. And sometimes, let's face it, not everyone is comfortable with a big gym.
Exactly.
And sometimes people need that space where, assuming that maybe they have body issues about themselves, confidence issues, you guys then allow them to train in a safe space where it's not a lot of people looking at you or maybe assume to look at you. Because let's face it, sometimes people go to the gym and do their thing. They're not really bothered by other people. But if people feel uncomfortable in those crowds, then you guys give them that opportunity.
Yes.
And wonderful. Where is your gym based?
It's in Parkmore, 107 2nd Street.
107 2nd Street.
2nd Street.
2nd Street Parkmore. And if someone wants to sign up to your gym, if someone wants to get membership, do you have like a membership?
We have a membership.
Yeah.
Basically, we offer a variety of packages.
Excellent.
So month to month for someone who wants to try it out. And then we have 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months.
Yeah.
Ideally, we want to lock you in for minimum 6 months.
Yes. Because that's the only way to get some form of results.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can decide if you want to stay on or
That's beautiful. It's chief. That's the going term. I think chief is the way you command your clients. You indeed a chief, and I think that's what a lot of your clients admire. I follow you quite a lot on social media, and I can see how much your client you really command a lot of respect. Yeah. And I mean your work is incredible. Today we want to give people a blueprint.
Yeah.
A blueprint on how to enhance their health in 2025. There's a whole lot of things that people can do to really become healthier. I think all of us are now conscious that the most important thing that you can ever have is your health. Everything else is good, it's important, but your health is the ultimate thing. You might be a billionaire, but if your health is failing because you're struggling with type 2 diabetes, so you've got all these lifestyle related conditions, then your quality of life quickly diminishes. And we've looked at a whole lot of things, but there's a few things that I want us to discuss, which hopefully people out there are going to learn a bit from those things. And the number one thing you and I that we tally on, which also comes from our profession, I mean, I was in personal training for quite a while, you in personal training, exercise.
Yeah.
Exercise is the number one thing. And I know it sounds dumb that I should be telling people to exercise in 2025.
Yes.
Why should people be exercising? And how should they be exercising?
So there was this professor that I once listened to, right? And I think it can help a lot of people sort of understand how important exercise is. So he said, if you take a person and you choke them, they'll realize within a few seconds that they need air. And if you take someone, you put them in a room, you starve them, within a few days, they'll realize that they need food.
Yes.
With water, they'll realize that within a few hours.
Yes.
With exercise, it's years. So a lot of people don't see the benefits until it's too late.
Absolutely.
And then it once the damage has been done, right, it's now harder to reverse. Now it's more of we're sort of trying to help you not maintain but manage whatever illness that you've picked up along the way. So it's always better to take preventative measures, and that's exercise. So you might not see the benefits right now, right away, but in a few years, 10, 15 years from now, when you look at your peers that didn't exercise, you'll see a huge difference between the two of you. There's a lot of benefits. Your mobility, you'll be able to move better. Let's forget about the aesthetics. Forget that, put that aside. I know a lot of people focus on that, but I don't think we should be leading with that. You should be leading with health.
Yes.
So let's focus on the health. Let's get you to move. Are you able to move? Are you able to walk? Just your basic stuff. Are you able to bend down without feeling any pain? Are you able to run with your kids? You know, those small things that adds quality to your life, you know, and people take that for granted. I know I had one of my clients that told me, this is now recent, that she's so grateful for what we've done for her because there was a time in her life where she couldn't be able to go to the mall with her husband. Now she's able to go hiking with her husband.
Quality of life, bro.
Quality of life. Yeah. So that's basically fitness.
It's amazing. Do you know, when you look at exercise research, I was watching CNN the other day, and this doctor from the US came up and said, you know, they've discovered newer benefits of exercise. And it was in terms of longevity.
Yes.
It's chalk and cheese how people that exercise and people that don't exercise tend to live longer. People that exercise tend to live longer.
Yeah.
People that exercise always, in all cases, have a better quality of life. They are less likely to get lifestyle diseases.
Yeah.
And there is if there's one thing that scientific evidence shows continuous benefit, it is exercise. You and I know that when you speak exercise, we probably talk about two main things.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a whole lot of aspects to fitness, but the two critical things that most of us are talking about is likely to be your cardiovascular fitness. It's likely to be your strength training. What kind of recommendations would you have for someone who's starting out? It's my first day training.
Yes.
Should I do strength training? Should I do cardiovascular training?
I'd say you have a combination of both.
Yeah.
Look, like I said, we're looking at overall fitness, but it's also important to start where you are. You know, a lot of people, they sort of download a program like, okay, this is what I'm going to try. It's going to overwhelm you. Start with the walk. Let's work on your VO2 max. Let's do a couple of squats, a couple of lunges. Let's make sure that everything's working the way it should be working. Then we can move on to things that require you to do more, what can I say, like movements that are more compounded, you understand? So you don't want to focus on building strength initially. You just want to make sure you can move properly so that we can avoid injuries. That can take 6 weeks or even 3 months. You're just trying to make sure you're doing the exercises correctly. Hence, I always recommend go for a walk. The problem is a lot of people, especially when advice is coming from trainers, they always assume that you're trying to grab them as a client.
Yes.
Like bring them on as a client. And what I always recommend to people is, even if you're not coming in to train with me, go for that walk, go for that run, do your squats at home, do your push-ups at home. There's a lot that you can do at home without any equipment, without going to any gym.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I am 90 years old. Can I still exercise?
Yeah. Of course.
What would I do?
You would need to work the very same things that someone that's 90 is doing. You can still do them.
Absolutely.
The only difference is intensity.
Exactly.
So you won't be working out at the same intensity as someone who's been doing it for 15 years.
Like that.
So that's why I'm saying start where you are and build it up.
So when I look at data, literally every single age group
benefits
from training.
From training. Yeah.
Every single age group. children, we never see it as exercise, but the things they do is technically exercise.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we call it exercise because we've now structured it, but that's just how we should just move all the time,
Talking about kids.
Yes.
So when I was in high school, there was a group of kids, right, that came from a certain area. And I was one of those kids from the more rural areas. It's called Nkomazi, right?
Yes, Nkomazi.
And we had
Then
we had another group of kids that grew up more in the suburbs.
Yes.
Funny enough, because of lifestyle, the kids that came from the more rural areas dominated sports. And it's not because we were more talented. It's just because we did more stuff outside as compared to the kids that are inside PlayStation, watching TV. Do you understand? So
makes a big difference.
It makes a huge difference. You could be the most talented person in terms of genetics. You could be fast. You could be have a lot of endurance.
Yeah.
But if those functions are not used,
the body locks them down. They shuts them down.
Typical law.
Yeah. You use it or lose it. Yes. Yeah. Amazing. So then a suburban parent, what should they do? Because a suburban parent, my kid is going to go to school until 2 p.m. and then they need to go to piano. And then from piano, they need to go to public speaking.
Yes.
They need to go to this. They need to go to that. Mm-hmm. And maybe they're swimming tomorrow. That's the only sport they'll do.
Yeah.
How does a suburban parent sort of try and keep their kid active?
They need to get them into some sort of sports.
Yeah.
That's what I recommend. Ideally, it has to be a team sport because it also helps with the discipline. You can see the difference between kids that do team sports and individual sports. Yeah. That discipline and also learning to work with people.
Yes.
So there's a lot of benefits that come with that, fitness and sports. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
A lot of people associate exercise with weight loss.
Yeah.
Now, statistically, you will find that someone that goes into a weight loss program and loses weight, they lose the weight mostly not because their exercise is technically superior to anyone else. They likely lose the weight because of certain mental aspects. However, we know that exercise is important for weight loss.
Yeah.
It's important for weight loss because it allows the body to use a lot more energy than if you are not exercising. So then that helps, because at the end of the day, weight loss is a calorie deficit game. How much are you putting in and how much are you taking out? Definitely there's going to be other aspects that influence how disciplined you are in that process of calorie deficit. I always think strength training has a big advantage in weight loss.
Yeah.
How is your weight loss strategy? How would you advise a weight loss client today? I personally think strength training is a big advantage because building muscle kind of has a positive impact on elevating metabolism. Although we know that within the exercise session, that doesn't burn as much calories compared to going out and doing a cardiovascular event, cardiovascular exercise. How would you help someone balance that aspect of weight loss?
I would say meet in the middle.
Yeah.
So there's something called metabolic training.
Yeah.
That I do it because I'm a rugby player, where it's compound movements.
Compound movements, yeah.
So you can do...
And compound movements, what does that mean? It's a lot for the ordinary person out there.
Compound movements, it's a workout or an exercise that brings in a lot of muscle. So you're not just working on, you're not isolating a specific muscle. It's your full body workout. Okay. So your clean and jerks, your hand cleans. There's a lot of muscles involved. So in that way,
it's a full body movement. Yeah. So if I'm moving my whole body at the same time,
your shoulders are working, your legs are working. So in that way, you're getting your heart rate.
I like that.
Now you're getting the exit of cardio, while at the same time you're building your strength. So I'd say meet in the middle, and you get the benefits of both. Yeah. And then once you're happy with that, then you can sort of choose what you want to focus more on.
Yes. Recently, I think you and I spoke about it briefly the other day. There has been this aspect of using what we call GLP-1, GLP-1 injections. Ozempic being the classic example.
Yes.
How is it advisable then? Is that something that you think could be incorporated into someone's regime for weight loss.
Yeah.
Because we know that, yes, a lot of, we have people, and initially I did talk about a certain mental trait. There's certain people with a mental trait of seeing everything through.
Yes.
So you've got guys that you put them in a program, they run with that program. On good days and bad days, they're able to, sometimes, with weight loss, the weight is lost nicely and everything's great. Then there's days where it's not lost.
Yes.
And some people struggle with that because that's the reality of your body losing weight. Sometimes you don't lose as much as you think you lose, or sometimes you might even gain a little bit for a certain time, depending on other biological activities happening in your system. What do you think that GLP-1s are something that people should consider going forward into sort of as part of their weight loss regime together with the exercise?
So with GLP-1, we know that it's an injection, or it comes in the form of a tablet, which mimics a hormone or peptide that's naturally found in your body, right? So this is it's something that mimics the action of what already exists naturally in your body here. And the risk with that, right, is that we don't know how healthy people are going to respond to it.
Yeah.
There's enough research over 20 years for people that have
diabetes, yeah.
And even obesity now.
Yes.
They're trying it out with them, and it's working very well.
Yeah.
But with what I've seen, with the research I've done, and this is a theory that I've always had, is that if you are a person that's well and you are injecting something and it's in surplus in your body, what you're actually teaching your body is to stop producing
the
yeah. So essentially, you're also making yourself diabetic.
Dependent on that. Yeah. Okay.
So I prefer to always lead with fitness, and then if we see that you're struggling, then we can look at other options, which is in your supplements, but that's only after you really put in the work and you've been there, you're showing up for all your sessions. Yeah. Then we can look at other options. There is a place for GLP.
For GLP,
but ideally, you shouldn't lead with that. It shouldn't be the first thing that you go to.
So then we should then say it's not the first thing that you should go to. Try as much natural a process as possible. Yeah. And then when it fails, then consider some other interventions, including GLP-1. So one of the most successful interventions that's also currently there is this, they call it, it's not gastric bypass, it's called gastric sleeve surgery. So the gastric sleeve surgery, they more or less cut up to 70% of your stomach off. Initially, I was like, that sounds quite weird. Sure. But when I looked at the results, a lot of people seem to be successful in that. And an interesting thing that came out of that was that one of the things that most people record, and you'll find this also similar with people that are on Ozempic, is that we stop craving food.
Yes.
We stop thinking about food. And I just thought to myself, that's quite interesting. And then when I researched further, I found that because when you do a gastric sleeve, that part of your stomach that produces that hormone called ghrelin. Ghrelin is what makes you crave.
Yeah.
I think if you've dealt with a lot of people that struggle with obesity, when they get hungry, they literally become angry.
Yeah.
When they get hungry, they literally need food. Like, I want to eat. Like, don't tell me anything.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most difficult things in the weight loss game is exactly that. For most people, is controlling the influence of that hormone.
Yeah.
That thought, that continuously occupation that you need to eat food. And one of the most successful things with people that either do gastric sleeve or take Ozempic is that they stop, that thing kind of stops.
Yeah.
But we know that, because your stomach is smaller with the gastric sleeve, Ozempic basically blocks it stops things from moving.
It's because the GLP-1 doesn't only work as a hormone, but it also works as a neurotransmitter.
Yeah.
Basically, there's a signal that goes to your brain to say, I've had enough. Yes. So you're not constantly thinking about food. You understand?
Mm.
But then again, the dangers of that.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't need that hormone, is that you're sending signals, but also it's activating other parts of the brain. Hence, we don't know what's going to happen in the next 10, 15 years.
That's true.
We still
don't know. Yeah. So then if as a weight loss intervention, and you want to go into, say, let's assume that you've struggled with weight loss.
Yeah.
You could try those other methods. You could try the gastric sleeve. You could try the Ozempic. But understand that we don't know what it does to healthy people in 15 years, in 20 years. because we know that it works for people with diabetes, but when you've got diabetes, you already have a condition. So your system is already working, struggling with something. So that kind of helps it. But for someone who doesn't have, no one knows at the moment. But the data that's out there for now is looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's looking good. Yeah. We're not questioning the fact that it works or not. It works.
Yeah, it works perfectly.
Does it work or not? It definitely works. It's just that we don't know what it's leading to. Yeah. So that's the worry.
Yeah. And that's the worry. Yeah. That's the worry. Interesting. So stress, again, if there's one thing that people need to, when it comes to exercise, that they need to make sure that they do in 2025, you should always have strength training in your program.
Definitely. I mean, look at women over 40. When they start losing their bone density, they start losing muscle mass, they need that. Yeah. Do you understand? So basically you're slowing down the aging process, which is what we need. You're avoiding a lot of things when it comes to your training.
And muscle controls your blood sugar.
Yes.
So the more muscle you have, the more you're able to control blood sugar. So one of probably the biggest metabolic disease in our times these days is that type 2 diabetes. And type 2 diabetes comes from mostly, the lifestyle we have, the things that we eat. We don't exercise a lot, so we lose muscle mass, and our bodies don't utilize alcohol. Our bodies don't utilize enough sugar.
Office jobs, you're sitting the whole day.
You stay the whole day. And your muscles are literally just shrinking.
They're shrinking.
And if you're not training, you lose muscle mass, you lose...
And so many little things that people don't notice, like getting up from your chair, using your hands. There goes your quad muscles.
Have you seen how much people struggle to get off?
Yeah. Because those muscles are just not being used.
Yeah. No, that's good. So then in 2025, exercise, do strength training, do cardio training, and for mobility, stretching is good.
Yes.
Is there tips around stretching that maybe you want to share?
I think a lot of people confuse stretching and mobility. Yes. Those are two different things.
But what's the difference there?
With mobility, you want to go through the range of motion.
Yes.
Meaning you're working around your joints, making sure everything moves the way it's supposed to. And then stretching, you're just making sure those muscles don't get tight. So it's more focused on the muscles. And then mobility, focus on how the muscles move. You understand? So that's the difference between us two. A lot of people are like, no, I'm working on mobility and this is stretching. Yeah.
So in 2025, exercise, do strength, cardio, and mobility work. Schedule mobility work. Number 2, I think people should stop drinking alcohol in 2025.
Especially in South Africa.
Did you see the amount of money that was spent on alcohol in South Africa between December 2024 and I think the 31st?
Yeah.
I think it's a few billions.
Billions, yeah. I think I saw 7 billion or something.
I'm like, my God, I'm in the wrong business.
There's plenty of money.
I'm in the wrong business.
We are. There should be like a bottle here that we're promoting right now.
Bruh.
But there's a lot of money.
People drink like
we have the money. They're just spending it on the wrong things.
Yeah. I had an epiphany when I was on holiday with my wife, and we were having some cocktails. Life was nice. Cocktails on the beach. And I had an epiphany that there's no other drink that you have so much of it in one go.
Yeah.
So you have this massive cocktail that we're having, and we had 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, if I'm having a Coke Zero, I probably only have 1 glass and that's it.
And that's it.
If I'm having a juice, I probably have half a glass and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
If I'm having water, maybe 1 or 2 glasses at most, and that's it.
Yeah.
Alcohol, you can have 10 of those and it's normal. If you drink 10 glasses of water in one go, you actually risk dying.
Yeah, but people want to forget that's the stressful lifestyle that we're living.
Wow. So that
it's an available drug. It's easy. You just park your car and you come out.
Alcohol is actually a proper drug.
Yeah, it's a proper drug.
So the US Surgeon General has classified it as a carcinogenic.
Yeah.
As a class 1 carcinogenic.
Yes.
So that means alcohol is directly causes
cancer.
Yeah.
I think I also saw that in America it's actually number 3. So meaning right after obesity and tobacco comes alcohol.
Sure. And we've been talking smoking like we look at smoking like, what are you doing?
What are you doing to your lungs?
But it's literally the same as alcohol.
Yeah. There's a lot of cancers that are directly
related to alcohol.
And with the amounts that we consume, especially in South Africa, you can see where it's going.
So what's healthy out there? What should people drink? There was a time where we had a smoothie craze in this country.
Yeah.
And people would make smoothies. But if you understand nutrition, you realize that a lot of the times people would make their smoothies with a lot of different fruits, because our concept is that fruit is healthier, so I can have as much as I want.
Yeah.
But we forget that it comes with
realizing the calories
Yes.
that you're packing. Yeah.
What do you advise on drinking? Because if we're gonna tell them to stop drinking alcohol, we need an alternative for them. And by the way, there's healthy ways of having alcohol. We're not saying completely stop.
Yes, exactly.
We are just saying be conscious of what you are taking. So
Exactly.
it's great for it's social.
Moderate.
Drink it moderation.
Yeah. People are overdoing it. You can't be drinking 4 days in a
every
week.
single day.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there are more days where you are actually drunk than sober.
Then it's actually sober, which
So basically alcohol has replaced water.
Yeah.
Let's start with water. It's basic. You know, we all know we need water.
How much water a day? Some people like
Look, there's a lot of
Yeah.
theories. Some say drink when you're thirsty,
Yes.
which I support that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at our forefathers. They're not going around with 2 liters of
Exactly.
water everywhere.
Exactly.
Your body will let you know
Where you need water.
water.
I like that you put the forefathers, because
Yes.
I always like to go back to base principles. And I think to myself, what are the base principles of survival? 100 years ago, we didn't have these things in abundance.
Yeah.
And we literally had to find them somewhere. And it was complicated. So it means we used to go a long time without food. We also used to go probably a long time without drinking sometimes.
Water. Yes.
And we had to go around and fight it. So our bodies are actually adapted to scarcity.
Yes.
And therefore, I remember when I was in training, I used to say to my clients, hunger is actually your friend. Sometimes when you feel hungry, it doesn't mean it's a problem. It's actually fine.
Yeah, you don't need to address
You
it.
don't need to address it immediately. Your body actually, it knows what it needs to do.
You have days.
And it can survive for a very long time without food. Yeah.
So yeah, with the water, like you say, we can go for long.
Go for water.
So drink when you're thirsty.
Yes.
Your body will let you know.
Yeah.
And just stay away from certain drinks.
Substance drinks. Yeah. And then in terms of, I want something more tasty. So I know my I've got a thing with Coke Zero. So I would like say, okay, I'm at a restaurant and I want to have something different. Water, now I will have a Coke Zero. Is a calorie-free beverage a good thing that we could
I say yes.
advise people?
Yeah, I say yes to that. And why I say that is a lot of the diets that we see are too extreme.
Yeah.
We need to be realistic.
Yes.
I feel that's what gets people out of fitness. Like I tried this thing for 2 weeks. I felt like I was dying.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to feel that way because your body's struggling to adapt. You've been eating a certain way your whole life.
Yes.
So you're not going to wake up the next day and cut everything off,
That's true.
But slow. I always say that. And you can have your Coke Zero.
Yes.
You can even have your Coke. That's absolutely okay. But then again, moderation.
Moderation. Yeah.
Control.
Yeah.
Don't have too much. You can have your cup every now and then.
Yeah.
Some people can even have it every day. Just one.
Just one.
You understand? The problem is when you're having the whole 2 liters.
2 liters at one
day,
go.
you're literally not drinking any water, So that's where the problem comes in. But if you're having that in moderation, you're exercising, you're moving in a safe place.
And by the way, when you're thirsty, your body's asking for water.
Yes.
Not juice, not alcohol, not beer, not anything. Your body is saying, can you give me water?
Give me-
That's literally what thirst means. Yeah.
Everything else is just crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. And if I'm to have a drink, what's the ideal drink? Is it a vodka? Is it a beer? What if I want 1 or 2 drinks on the weekend?
So the drinkers that I speak to,
Yeah. What's their go-to?
they always recommend the vodka. You say it's low in calories and whatnot. I don't know how true that is. Yeah.
I think calories is one thing that we don't talk about when it comes to alcohol. Because you're trying to lose weight, but you're hitting the savannas every
There's a lot of that much. With beer, I know the ciders and beer, there's a lot of calories.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting down with the whole 6-pack, you've covered enough calories
for the whole day. Yeah, quite a few thousand calories.
And then on top of that, you're adding food.
Yeah.
And your snacks.
And your snacks, yeah.
So you're eating enough food to last you a week.
Yeah, in one go.
Yeah, in one go.
And then you wonder why you're obese, yeah.
So we're not saying we don't drink.
Yes.
We're just saying
Yes.
be mindful.
Be mindful.
Yeah.
So then in 2025, control your alcohol intake, because it's not only putting you at the risk of cancer, it's also sabotaging your body goals if you have body goals, and you literally benefit nothing from alcohol. Yes. And we're not saying that because we're holy, and we're just saying if there's one thing that you want to control in 2025 as part of your health goals is alcohol. That's something that really takes you back when it comes to your health and wellness goals.
Yeah.
All right. And then 2025, eat more meat and vegetables.
Yeah, definitely.
And eggs.
And eggs. I'd say for a lot of people, when you say vegetables, they automatically think that they're getting enough carbs.
Yeah, I don't think
there's more than enough carbs in those vegetables.
Yeah.
And you're getting enough protein from your meat. Do you understand? So just make sure those vegetables you're eating also have a lot of fiber, and keep your carbs low, in my opinion. Yeah. If you're looking to build muscles, keep them low, but have your carbs. You don't want to eliminate carbs. Carbs are a friend. You need that energy.
Carbs are energy. You were made to use carbs as energy. Yes.
Yeah. Unless there's also the keto guys.
That's prescribed keto full on. So keto basically, you're talking about cutting carbs as energy.
Yeah.
To the point that you then sort of manipulate your energy system to use fat as the main source of energy at most times or all times, and the body metabolizes fat to produce ketone bodies, which are then used instead of glucose. Because remember, when you use carbs, glucose becomes the primary energy source. Mm-hmm. But when you're burning fat, you do use ketones, which eventually have to convert to glucose, and then they become
Is it sustainable?
So the thing about it is there's a lot of interesting schools of thought around it. For most people, it's not sustainable because the cravings for carbs are a bit excessive. Mm-hmm. And also there's a few people that struggle with health issues from going on ketogenic diets. There's been records of people developing kidney stones, gallbladder diseases from going on low carbs. Mm-hmm. But in terms of unhealthy people, so let's say you're already struggling with metabolic disease, and your blood sugar is out of the roof, and it's not great. There's an advantage in going on some form of a keto diet for a certain period of time, where you try and control and just bring back your sugar sensitivity in the body. So there is evidence that says for a certain period of time, yes, it's actually good. But in the long term, I don't think it's very sustainable for most people. And you want to have a diet which still keeps your carbs low. Yeah. But you do eat your higher quantity of food will still be protein and veggies and obviously healthy fats. But you want to have some form of carbs with your food. Definitely. And I think that's generally a healthier approach.
Yeah. It is. What I've also noticed with some of our clients that have done keto is the energy levels.
Yeah.
It compromised always the training. So now we had to change our training, lower the intensity so that they can cope with the diet. I don't think that's ideal.
It's not ideal.
It's okay if you're doing it for 2-3 weeks because you're chasing a certain goal, but it's not something that you should stick with.
No.
Stick to the low carbs.
You've seen the bodybuilders when they are cutting down.
Yes.
When they go on zero carbs.
Or even the fighters, boxers.
Yeah, the fighters. Yeah. So, and all of those people that do excessive weight loss, a lot of them struggle with kidneys and some of them liver issues. So there's actually a high prevalence compared to a normal population. Yeah. Because that drastic weight loss is not necessarily the safest way of doing it. For some people, it can really end badly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but also I think, look, Bills, I think we really need to move away from the stereotypical bodybuilder style. Like, we're not saying you need to look a certain way. We need to look at fitness as a, like a holistic approach. Like, that's how we need to approach it. Yeah. We're not just looking at, she looks, or he looks nice, but what about your health? You've seen a lot of bodybuilders
collapsing
heart attack. Yeah.
27-year-old boy, done, heart attack.
Just like that.
And you look at that boy, you're like, my God, I want to have a body like that.
What happened? Yeah. And he looked healthy.
Yeah.
Actually, he's not.
He's not.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that bodybuilding is an extreme high performance sport.
That's why most of them retire early, because that body goes through so much
to look like that.
Period. Yeah.
To look like that. Yeah. And one of the things you're an athlete, so you play rugby. One of the things that you know with high performance sports is that it's not necessarily a safe space.
Yes.
So don't try and do what athletes do, because athletes can go extreme. What you guys can do. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So we normal people, we still have other things to do.
Exactly.
If we sometimes try and go there, it actually backfires quite a bit. Yeah, we don't have enough.
And we see that even with clients, when they do too much, they're getting sick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They'll push hard for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then you're sick, and then you drop out for 3 weeks.
Exactly.
You come back.
All of that weight, all of those benefits you got in like 2 weeks, you lose all of them.
And the motivation is gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
So the best way to stick to it, start slow.
Yes.
Build up.
Build up. Yeah. That's good. Right. So in 2025, then we are saying to people, make sure that you don't go on fad diet.
Yeah.
Because fad diets it will almost guarantee that you won't succeed, because you're likely to drop out anyway.
Exactly.
Understand that, maintain good amount of protein. So if you have this in your mind that whenever you have a meal, is a good amount of protein, good amount of veggies, and some form of carbs. Yeah. Carbs should always be the minimum. I'll always say keep if you really are about being lean, carbs should be the minimum. You should always give your body a chance to burn the fat that you stored up, because at the end of the day, leanness is about using the body fat that you've stored up.
Yes.
And your body does that when there's some form of calorie deficit existing. Right. And it's healthy to have a calorie deficit. Yeah. So don't always listen to hunger.
Exactly.
It's healthy to feel a little bit hungry. We're not saying be hungry and pass out.
Starve yourself.
Starve yourself and pass out. Yeah. Because that's also a negative. We're saying it's okay to feel that little bit of hunger.
Yes. So your body can tap into the fat.
Exactly. Yes. It's okay to maintain those. That's pure. So there's no reason for most people to snack.
Yes.
You are not burning enough energy in that office.
Not at all.
To
snack the whole day.
Yeah. You are literally not burning enough energy to be snacking. So if you keep your meals to 2 or 3 a day,
yes,
and give that gap in between your meals as an opportunity for your body to also use up the body fat that you've stored up, yes, that helps you become leaner. It helps you. It also helps your body to become more insulin sensitive.
Yes,
because when you're continuously eating, you're maintaining, and most people snack on sweet stuff, which pushes up your blood sugar. And this is why they feel good, because, you know, you're buzzing with sugar. So it pushes up your blood sugar, and blood sugar pushes up your insulin.
Yeah.
And having insulin heightened in your system at all times is what eventually for most people leads to type 2 diabetes, because then your body's reception of insulin becomes less.
Yeah. Your body doesn't respond.
It doesn't respond as much because there's always insulin.
Sugar.
Exactly. Yeah. So the lesser insulin that floods your blood, the better your receptors will receive it once it comes. When you eat.
Yeah, it's those spikes that confuse your body. Yes. That's up and down, up and down. Yeah.
So that's what you want to do. So so that's quite interesting. So
and you mentioned something about your body tapping into the body fat.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I think it's also important for people to know that you don't get to choose where the body goes for that fat.
For the fat.
There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, I want to lose this fat.
So I want to sports.
Sports. It doesn't work that way. Basically,
how do you explain that to your clients? Because one of my experiences in personal training was that people will then say, but I can, you'll be like, okay, you've lost a certain amount of weight. You can see that it's working.
Yes.
Yeah, but I still have this one here.
Yes.
How do I lose that one? Should I do more crunches? How do you explain that part?
So a lot of people, like you said, if there's fat in the belly, the first thing they do is, I want to do more crunches.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're using the muscles in that area. The muscle will grow, definitely.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean the body is using the fat that's in that area. That will eventually happen over time.
Yeah.
Sort of like how you gained the fat over time.
Yeah.
Same concept applies when you're training. It will slowly decrease, but you don't get to choose where it's coming from.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I love it, man. So in 2025, then cut down on carbs. Cut down on the carbs. Don't stop eating carbs.
Yes.
Cut down on the carbs. The cutting down on carbs is the key to maintaining leanness.
Yes.
Because carbs being the primary source of your energy, it means that when they are little, your body is likely to tap into the next primary source of energy, which is body fat. Yeah. And also, it's important to have some fat in your diet. By the way, healthy fats are good for you.
Yes.
Omega 3s. essential as an antioxidant, essential in preventing heart disease, actually.
Yes.
So they're quite essential for that. So you want to also always include some healthy fats in your eating. So if I would have a meal or an average day, make sure that you've had some form of healthy fats.
Yeah.
Whether you have fish, whether you have olive oil, whether you have some people like avo, whether you have avo. Make sure you've had some meat, because that's the best source of protein.
Yeah.
I know there's people that the vegetarians always argue so much against meat. We've looked at a lot of data, you and I.
It's showing.
It's an essential part. And besides, our great ancestors ate meat. It was actually part of our primary, food source. Yeah. So we are designed to eat meat. It's important. And there's always an argument around meat, and to say that, because we feel sorry for animals, and, for a lot of vegetarians, they say, because of the way that animals are killed, therefore we feel sorry.
I think you found safer ways of doing it.
And besides, plants are also living things.
Yes.
So don't kill the plants.
Yeah.
So then at the end of the day, don't eat. So we'll end up not eating then. Yeah. Plants are living things. In fact, plants breathe. Yeah. We receive oxygen because we have plants. Yeah. So
it's just the natural cycle.
It's the natural cycle of energy transfer. The world works in energy transfer. Yeah. And remember, you can't create or destroy energy. You only transpose it from one form to the other. Yes. So that is how nature works. Yeah. It's not always the rosy dawn that a lion will eat us and get energy from us and
just keep it moving.
Oh,
that is what it is.
This is what it is. That's how nature works. So so this argument around you created to animals when it comes to meat, we were designed to eat meat, and that's just what it is. Yeah. Right. So 2025, eat more meat, eat more vegetables. That's one thing. Let's go to the mind. I would say in 2025, you need to meditate.
I agree. You just need to make time for your mind. Do you understand? There's a lot going on.
Yes.
You've got work.
Yeah.
You've got kids for some people that have kids, and obviously other life problems that you might be taking on at that time. So it's very important to just make the time to sort of see where you are mentally.
Yes.
There's a lot of mental illness nowadays.
Yeah.
You find a lot of people are taking stuff to fall asleep. Yeah. And even stuff to wake up.
Yeah. Now you
feel groggy in the morning.
But funny enough, I had a story about a celebrity who, when they want to work, they take cocaine.
Yeah.
They when they go to sleep and relax, they take weed. You see, so now they're in a cycle of cocaine and weed, because that's how they have to survive. But when you see them on TV, they're amazing and energy because they're on cocaine. Yeah. And then when they go home, they need weed.
Something. Yeah. So that's a sign that there's something you're avoiding. Yeah. So that's where meditation comes in.
Yes.
Sort of even reading a book that's going to help you, or speaking to someone, but you need to make that time for your mental health.
Yeah. Like that. Now, one of the disadvantages of modern society is that our minds are always occupied by nonsense.
Yeah.
We live in the age of distraction.
Yeah.
Companies have been built around keeping you distracted.
Yes.
So that we can sell you things.
Yeah. I agree.
So TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Those are things that are just
feeding you
designed.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because in the past 6 months, I've literally been working on my social media.
Yes.
Meaning I've been focusing a lot on what kind of content
that you put in there.
No, not just what I'm putting in.
Yeah, but also what you're receiving.
Yeah.
So you've been training your algorithm to give you.
I've been training it to give you more positive things. Meaning every time I see something negative, I literally make the effort to okay, I don't want you to
see that again.
And I'm deleting this profile and so on. Yes. So I'm seeing more positive things.
That's good. Yeah.
So I think people also need to be aware of that.
This is a very clear.
You don't want to go on your app and then the first thing you see is how many people died here. You understand?
This is not good energy.
Yeah. It's not, you just attracting stress. Already you starting your day on a bad foot. So I think one of the things that people can do, start cleaning up your social media. We're not saying you're not going to stay away from it. Just be honest.
No. Let's face it.
It's life.
It's actually important. Yeah. Yes.
But clean up your profile.
Exactly.
You literally have the power to choose what you want to see. Yeah.
Talking of social media, I saw one of my online mentors says that you need to actually be the one putting in stuff and not always taking out stuff.
Yes.
That's the healthier relationship with social media.
Yes.
So if you're not a content producer, you want to minimize how much you spend time there.
Yes.
Because then easily, you could scroll your Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And then you could start arguing with people that you don't even know.
And your day's ruined.
And then your day's ruined.
Yeah. Look, me personally,
Yeah.
the only reason I came to social media is because of the
Business, yeah, which is good.
I had to.
Yeah.
It's the only way I could
Talk to people.
Yeah,
it's important.
It's very important. They're very important. There's a reason why big companies
Like we're going to put this on social media.
Yes. We're not saying stay away from it. Just be mindful.
Be mindful what you
receive.
Yes.
Because your subconscious, the things that you see, you really don't understand how they affect you. Your quality of sleep. You're watching, you think, I'm just watching. Life doesn't work that way.
Those things are important.
Those things are important.
Yeah. So protect your mind.
Yes.
And why we say it in 2025, meditate. Meditation, yes, there's this classic meditation where, I go into Zen, sit down, close my eyes, breathe deep and all that stuff. But also meditation could be a nice walk in nature where you are looking around, you are conscious of your environment, you are not on your phone, you have put away your phone somewhere in the car, left it in the car, you are not reading a paper, you're literally just present.
It's just you
in that moment with your mind, whether you're walking, whether you prefer to sit, that you're just present. And a lot of us struggle with that.
Yes.
And what it's doing is that it's increasing anxiety levels. And a lot of times anxiety correlates with increasing depression levels as well. So a lot of people struggle with mental issues, primarily anxiety and depression, because we spend so much time scrolling things, looking at people's lives that are fake. Because trust me, no one posts
highlights.
No one posts their said part of their life on the internet, and people post 5% of what they do with their lives on the internet.
Also, it's staged,
and then you stage, and then you look at that and you think, oh my God, my life is miserable.
It's a highlight.
You know what I mean?
Showing you the good parts of it.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. So you're now scrolling. And you look at that, you're like, oh, my life is miserable because I don't do this. Look up on it's different. I kind of thought that person being, oh my God, how's this person doing? Yeah. And yet that is fake. That is just a portion. You don't know you don't see that person crying in bed every night.
How many times have you seen happy couples or people that are happy and the next day you find out
divorced?
Committed suicide.
Yeah. Someone
then you're like, how? This person, I saw them at the club yesterday.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I think talk of suicide, one of the saddest stories that I think it was 2-3 years ago, Rick when
oh man. Yeah. No one knew that there was something wrong.
I'm still listening to his music today. I'm like, dude, wasn't there someone to talk to?
Yeah.
Wasn't there that you had so much influence? You were speaking to so many people. You were positively impacting so many people.
Yes.
If you had issues, I'm sure
you could have reached out to someone. Yeah.
But maybe there was no one to reach out to. And you and I would see him on Instagram and think, oh man, look at all this socializing life. What could possibly go wrong? You own one of the biggest music concerts. Your phone book must be full of anyone that you need. Anything.
Girls are after you. I mean,
what could go wrong?
Exactly.
So there's those things that we need to be aware of. And I find that interesting enough, talking of mental aspects, we always assume that getting things makes us happy.
Yeah.
We always assume that if I have this car, if I have so many clients,
I have this sport,
if I have this amount of money, if I go on this holiday, then I'm going to be happy. But no, because at the end of the day, the one thing that makes people happy is purpose.
Yeah.
And I see when I follow you that, you locked into your stuff, because I think what you do gives you so much purpose that whether it's going bad or going good, no one will know, because there's consistency in finding purpose. Yeah. And I think part of mental health is getting to that point where there is purpose. And I think purpose then allows you to quieten your mind and focus.
Yeah.
So therefore it allows you to be in that meditative state of function, even if you're not sitting down and doing anything.
Yes.
When you're doing your work, you are there.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, that's meditation as well.
Because look, people are being pulled in so many directions.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to quieten that mind. Just give yourselves time to know who you are, what you want.
Absolutely.
Instead of focusing on everything else that's around you. It's very easy to get caught up with all these things.
Yeah.
It's very easy to caught up watching people's lives, what they're doing, when are they doing it, why are they doing it? But you're actually forgetting you. It's like your identity.
Yeah.
You know, you literally don't have an identity. You just found one on social media. You're like, oh, I like this. I think I want to be this.
That is power, but
Yeah.
so you need to find your identity for mental health.
Identity. Yeah. Find your identity. I think that's what a lot of people are struggling with. It's an identity crisis. Hence, there's so much anxiety because people literally don't know who they are. Most people identify with their work. So the first thing that people usually do, what do you do? So now they sort of want to put you, you know, like, okay,
teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm a this and that.
I'll rate you as, you know, you're not that important. I can talk to you this way. Do you understand? But if you genuinely ask people, who are you? Like what? They won't answer you. You know, what do you like doing? They'll go straight to work. A lot of people don't even like their jobs.
Yeah, most people don't. Most people don't like their work.
Yeah.
Most people drag themselves to work.
If you're in a profession that you're happy with and you genuinely find, you know, that happiness and you wake up in the morning, you're excited to start your day, you're one of the lucky people. Yeah.
So my theory is, and this is based on my journey, so you know, to account for other people. My theory is that you need to find, I think the key to being happier, you need to find purpose.
Yeah.
Obviously very important. In that purpose comes from solving something.
Yes.
So doesn't have to be big. You don't have to build a spacecraft. You don't have to be Elon Musk.
Yes.
You have to solve a certain problem that is relevant to your society, even if it's tiny. But if that thing is relevant in improving your society or taking your society to somewhere, that is purpose.
Yeah.
So if you have a good problem to solve, then you can live a fulfilled life.
Yes.
If you are serving society, it's a fulfilled life.
Yes.
And I'm saying that because living in Sandton, I mean, you spend a lot of time in Sandton. In Sandton, you meet some of the wealthiest people in the world. And then you can go to Ekasi somewhere, or Bela, Mpumalanga, wherever, Wanyamazana. And you might find someone, Oslara Wanyamazana, in a forum, who is the most happiest person.
Exactly.
Who is the most fulfilled person.
Yes.
Who is someone that wakes up in the morning with a spring in their forums. And then you'll meet someone who lives in a penthouse in Sandton, who is the most miserable person. In their Bentley, in their whatever. Yeah, I know people like to say, oh no, it's better for me to cry in a Bentley than a bicycle. That's what you're saying, and take the yes, in a Bentley. Because when you're crying in a Bentley, very little can actually comfort you there. When you're crying in a bicycle, maybe when you buy a Tez, you might feel better. In a taxi, you will feel better.
Yes.
But when you cry in a Bentley, sometimes you're alone. You're alone. And that's actually quite sad.
Yeah. I think it's also how much people sacrifice, you know, and successful people, most of them, they sacrifice so much of themselves.
Yeah.
They even forget who they are. And I think that's where the stress comes in. So we're not saying being successful makes you stressed or sad.
Yes.
No, we all want to be successful. But don't forget to take care of yourself mentally. So make that time to, am I moving in a direction that I want to move in? Or am I doing this because my friend is there? Do you understand? We have a lot of that. Like when I finished school, for instance, I studied geology.
Yes. Yeah, you studied geology.
I studied geology for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years in.
Yeah. And wait, which varsity?
UCT.
UCT, yes.
Funny enough.
So you're at UCT?
Yeah.
Amazing enough. Yeah.
You know who asked me, why are you doing this?
Who asked your
father?
Wow.
And he was like, I thought you do like sports science.
Wow.
And I did geology because I wanted to impress my parents. And my parents were like,
yeah, and you're from Bombela there with the mind.
It's a mind. You're thinking,
I'm Sebens, man. I'll secure the bed. Yeah.
And I was like, after I've done this, then you'll do all science. You understand?
Yeah.
That's how I ended up in personal training.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand? So it's those things. I was literally in a space where I'm not happy because now you're trying to impress.
You're trying to impress people. You're trying to live.
You're literally moving away from your identity.
Purpose and your identity. And that's a miserable space.
And I started asking myself questions like, okay, geology, where am I going to be in 10 years? You know, what am I going to do? Am I going to be in the mine? And I'm getting lost. So, that's the thing. So, I was like, no, it's not for me.
I've got a geologist cousin.
I enjoyed the study, but it's not what I'd want to do with the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, that's good. So in 2025, meditate. And by meditate, we are simple saying, not in the classic form. Yes, you can still do the classic form, but look after your mind. Yes. I think we use meditate as a functional term to say, look after your mind, because that's a very important aspect of you getting anything done.
Yes.
Of your quality of life. Yes. When your mind is good, your quality of life is good. Whether you're in a bicycle or you're in a bento, and you know that you've got your mind together, you are good. Yeah. Right? And then probably the fifth thing that we can encourage people to do in 2025, sleep more.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your take on sleeping?
We are not sleeping enough. I'm also a victim of that. I don't get enough sleep. I know that for a fact. Look, the recommended hours is 7 to 9. Mm-hmm. Few people can survive on 6.5.
Yeah.
But it's actually shown that majority of people are sleeping like 4 hours. But also you're scrolling on your phone.
Yes.
Understand? So a lot of people think once I jump,
bed. Yeah, I'm going to bed and then
going to bed.
And then now you're fighting people in the Amcook there on Instagram.
And some people just can't sleep at all because they're anxious. So once again, work on your mind. You need to quieten the mind. And being on social media for 2 hours before you sleep, it's not going to help you with that.
Yeah. I like that. So one thing about sleep, let's assume that you're one of those people that doesn't believe in sleep. If sleeping enough cuts your potential of developing Alzheimer's disease or dementia by up to 30 to 40%. So let's say you're one of those person who's predisposed to develop those conditions. You sleep, making sure that you're sleeping allows you to, it just allows your mind to be a bit much healthier.
Yeah.
So literally not sleeping can start destroying your brain, because at the end of the day, cognitive functions die off. Yeah. At the end of the day, Alzheimer's, dementia is your brain just giving up,
shutting down.
You know, so sleep is as important as anything, and it's important to get those 8 hours of quality sleep.
Yeah.
Because then your brain recovers. So your brain is this sophisticated machine.
Yeah.
Which is consistently at work. So one thing that's always working from the time you move out of the zygote, or from the moment you're a zygote, when the fertilization has happened, is your nervous system starts developing there. Yeah, there's the heart rate. There's a heart that also starts beating at that time. Yeah. But your nervous system starts working, and your nervous system is always working, because you don't think about your heart beating. You can't think like, okay, let me have my heart beat. But there's a part of your brain that controls that. Yeah. You are breathing now. There's a part of your brain that controls that. So all those things are always working. When you sleep, you allow them to calm down. And then there's obviously the conscious side of the brain. Particularly the conscious side of the brain is what's interacting with everything. We are talking now, you're listening, you're hearing me, you see me, your conscious part of the brain, you're thinking, bringing out stuff, it's constantly at work. Yeah. So when you sleep, you're allowing it to rest and recover. And rest and recover are very important aspects in many dimensions.
Yeah.
In the recovery of your brain, yes, but also in the recovery of your body.
Yes.
In training, we talk about supercompensation. And in supercompensation, we say it's that time where you take a week of training and train low, train very easy to allow the body to fully recover.
Yes.
So sleep allows you to maintain a good cycle of supercompensating your body every single day. In as much as this is not,
so your neurological functions, basically.
Yes.
Because people only look at muscle, talk about recovery.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's much deeper than that.
Yes.
Your muscles might be recovered, but then your neurotransmitters are not working. Yes. They're still slow. That's why sometimes you might have rested.
Yeah.
But you feel like I'm sluggish. Why am I not as explosive or as fast?
Exactly.
It's because your body's just telling you, take a break.
Exactly.
And a lot of people have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But it's the culture that we've built around no days off.
I'll sleep for no days off. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I'm pushing.
Yeah, you'll die early. You'll die quite early. Yeah. So there's that culture. And it's such a negative culture.
It's a negative culture.
And I'm sure you're an athlete, so you now know that part of your performance is sleeping.
And what a lot of people don't understand or know is that athletes sleep a lot.
Yes.
They'll have their session in the morning, sleep 4-6 hours before their next session.
Yeah.
But that sleep is where they recover. Yes. So it actually does more for you than your supplement.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So sleep is so important for every other aspect of your health that you're trying. Yes. Be it your training, When you're sleeping enough, you fully recover to go train again tomorrow, and your body gets stronger, gets fitter, gets functional.
Yeah.
You eat anything that you are doing. If you eat work, you think better when you sleep enough.
Exactly.
Your brain works.
So you're doing more. Yeah. Because a lot of people will say, I work throughout the whole night.
No,
but
you're probably not working.
Yeah.
Because your mind has lost the ability to control. And a lot of times it's just ego work. Yes. It's got nothing to do with being productive.
Exactly.
Because if you're not sleeping enough, there is no way that your brain works
working properly. So those 3 hours you spent at night, you probably had 30 minutes that were productive.
Yeah.
But if you actually slept and woke up in the morning, you could have done more.
In 1 hour, in less time.
Exactly.
Right. So, hey, thank you, brother. I really appreciate this. So then we can then summarize and say the 5 things that people need to do in 2025 to enhance their health. We say, number 1, you exercise. Make sure that you are doing strength training. Make sure that you're doing cardiovascular training. Make sure that you're looking after your mobility. Yes, we keep saying exercise, but we are only now understanding how really good this thing is. We always knew it was kind of good for us, but now it is like the new evidence coming around exercise shows you that it doesn't make sense for you not to be training.
Yeah.
Like it literally does not make sense for a person not to train.
Yes.
Because either you are training and enhancing your body and enhancing your life.
Yes.
Or you are just completely destroying yourself. So training is the
aging quicker.
You're aging quicker. You probably don't live a quality life.
Yes.
So for you to live a really good quality life, you need to be exercising.
Yeah.
And strength training, very important.
Very important.
Cardiovascular training, very important. Okay. Right. Then we would say number 2, cut down on alcohol. Yes, I know we said stop drinking alcohol in the beginning, but we respect that, you need. But number 1 thing that can improve your health in 2025 is cutting down on alcohol.
Yes, we already know the dangers now. You said it's a group 1.
It's a group 1 carcinogen.
Yeah. Which means it's a high risk for cancer. Yeah.
Yes. So funny enough, when I saw that data, whenever I have alcohol now, I feel like a little, sometimes you get this burning sensation. I'm like, damn it, I want to get bronchial cancer now. So I'm like so conscious of it, which is fine. So one of the things you need to make sure that you don't do, cut down on alcohol. And then we said on your nutrition, make sure you eat more meat and vegetables. We're using this analogy because we are simply saying just add more protein and good fiber into your diet.
Yes.
Those are very important. Yes, also add some good fat. Have some fish, some incredible fat, have some omega-3s. You could supplement on omega-3s if you're not eating enough. Most people most likely not eating enough.
Yes.
And remember, with protein, you are probably not eating enough protein.
Definitely.
Most people are not eating enough protein. Definitely. So make sure that every meal comes with some form of protein. And the advantage of protein, again, if you're trying to lose weight, is that it actually fills you up longer.
Yes.
So that craving feel goes away for quite a while if you're actually eating protein.
So it's almost like the GLP.
Yeah, it's almost like in a way from GLP-1. Yeah, because remember, it takes longer to digest protein. It's longer.
Yeah.
It's a greater energy thingy process.
Yeah.
So it's important when you have protein, you are fuller for longer because it takes much longer to digest. Okay. So make sure you are eating enough protein and fiber. And then meditate.
Yes.
Look after your mind. Look after your mind. And by like we say,
I'm almost feeling like that's more important now.
Very important.
Because once your mind is taken care of, you automatically
take care of everything else.
Exactly. You know that your fitness is important.
Absolutely.
So perhaps that should be right at the top.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should put at the top of our list for the 5 most important things. Yeah, perfect. And then sleep.
Yes.
Sleep is important.
You need rest for recovery.
Rest and recovery.
You can take all the supplements you want. If you're not getting enough sleep, you still won't perform at your best.
Absolutely. And you won't perform at work, you won't perform at the gym, you won't perform in the bedroom.
Exactly.
Yes. And
then now divorce,
and then
there's more problems.
And then now your personal trainer, just personal trainer end up, helping you there at home. So it's that important. Resting is that important for your health. So you need to rest. for all aspects. You need to be sleeping for all aspects of your health.
Definitely.
Mr. Chief Xolani, thank you so much for a great session. It's been a pleasure, brother.
Thanks.
Look forward to our next topic. 2 weeks time, we're getting another one. So this one should go out. The edit should be ready by Tuesday.
Okay.
So we should, I think, just launch it properly on Friday next week.
No problem. Yeah.
And then we start pushing it on our social medias. We'll do like more cuts of it. Then let's get it done. Let's get it done. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Inside Modern Wellness today with personal trainer Xolani Chief from the Personal Training Experts. Tell us more. What's going on at Personal Training Experts?
We're taking on new clients now.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so it's looking good.
Wonderful.
You know, we're getting, what can I say? We've sort of moved away from the typical look that we had, which was we had fitter clients.
Yes.
So now I've taken on people that are unfit.
Wonderful.
Which is a different game.
Yes.
You know, so we've gone from just being a business to being more of a, like, we're guiding people.
Oh, beautiful.
You understand?
Beautiful.
That's what we're trying to do now.
Yes.
We've worked with the girls that look like models and everything. Now we're just working on overall wellness.
Yeah, perfect. I like that.
So those are the clients we want, the people that are really struggling their fitness. And those are the people we want in 2025.
I love it, man.
We over you guys that are running.
You're fostering inclusivity.
Exactly.
In the age of Donald Trump, you're fostering inclusivity in fitness. Wonderful. I love that. No, thank you, man. Appreciate it, Xolani. Inside Modern Wellness, we're out. Thank you.
You're running, girl. Go, Zano, in your PJs.